Hi, John. How are you?
How you doing? Please say that's a real shelf behind you, or at least a picture of a real shelf,
It is a
because
real shelf, yeah,
that's
full of
amazing, man.
well, full of superheroes. Kind of like I think you could compare David to a superhero in
Yep.
this. There's another epic story, this David and Goliath story. So it's one I've read as well. I know it's followed you from your teenage years. So what's it meant to you, John, to be able to come in and finally tell this on screen?
Well, I do think a lot about, what I'm a huge fan of comic book movies and um, whether it's Avengers or Spider-Man or even, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. And I've thought a lot about it while telling David because he is in many ways, David is sort of like one of the origin stories of the origin stories, if that makes sense. And and this is one of the original boy chosen to be king, hero's journey. And so I have thought a lot about why do we love these stories, and what is it about them that what does it trigger in our souls that's obviously written in our souls or we wouldn't like them. And I just think it's, we all yearn for a destiny. We all want some role to play in something bigger than we are that's meaningful. And we all want to live our own hero's journey. And that's why we watch Spider-Man, or that's why we want to be David. And so I think that I have thought a lot about that. We make the show in Greece, and Leonidas is buried here, and it's just like, what do we what do we gain from these, and I do think that there's just something profound about that is written in all of us when it comes to these hero's journey stories, and I just think David is one of the originals, and I'm privileged to bring his story to the screen, and I hope that that's what one of the things that people take I hope they're entertained by it. I hope they enjoy it, but then also they think, there's something big and meaningful and scary for me to do too, and I hope that's one of the takeaways from the series.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. And I think like, superhero origin stories, people know the simple version of David and Goliath, but what was the biggest challenge for you to come in here and expand that story? Look at the Bible, take some of that, bring it to the screen and just tell it in a really authentic way and in an epic way as well.
Well, that's that. You just nailed the challenge of it to tell it in an epic way while still creating an authentic story. And so it has these two. And my co-showrunner John Gunn, who we've done many things together, many films together. That is sort of the balance of trying to have something that's epic, but also something that's incredibly human and relatable, and really define the humanity in all the characters. One of the real keys to the story for me was that the name of the series House of David came from the oldest relic ever related to the Bible was discovered as a stela and it read House of David, 950 BC. And um and I like that idea, house of, the idea of these houses that were pitted against each other. And so really finding the humanity in the house of Saul, or who was Goliath, what was his family, what was his sort of um, mythology. And I found that to be a very interesting exploration. And so you have this boy chosen to be a king in a nation that already had a king that did not want to give up his throne, and the same person chose them both, which is the prophet Samuel, played by Stephen Lang in the series. That is very interesting and very complex, and the idea that this boy really finds the family that he's never had in the context of this king that he's destined to replace. So it's just great dramatic fodder, I guess. And you want to do the best job you can. And then when it comes to the big event, which is David and Goliath, that when it relates to other events in the Bible, there's been portrayals of them over the course of the 100 years of cinema or television, and or 50 years of television, and there really hasn't been with David and Goliath nearly as much as, like, the parting of the Red Sea, or the crucifixion, or the life of Jesus. And so we just wanted to do it justice. As a fan, I wanted to do it justice, and 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 I love it. I hope the audience loves it too.
Well, I loved it, and I really do think they will, John, because I think this story is just an epic, sweeping, fantastic series. So thank you so much for taking the time. It's been a real pleasure to catch up with you and learn more about this one.
Yeah, thank you as well, and amazing wall. The world's best wall you get an award for.
Awesome. I'll take it. Thanks, John. Have a great one.
Thank you.